There isn't a question in the history of cinema that feels quite as universal as this. What makes Pixar so great? In just 30 years, the studio has not only introduced a completely new way of telling stories, but has also turned that medium into a major part of pop culture. Pixar has consistently created films that define generations, movies that shape what people think great animation should look like and feel like. Every one of its films is a technical masterpiece, but I believe that technology alone is not what truly makes these films special. As one Pixar creator once explained, these computers are really just expensive pencils. That's all they are. The artists use computers in the same way that a Disney artist would use paper and a pencil, because the true focus of what they do has always stayed in the most important place, and that place is the story and the characters. Pixar's obsession with storytelling is very well known. No Pixar movie is ever made only once. Every film is rewritten and re-edited again and again until it feels right. This is exactly how the version of Toy Story 2 that we all know was completed in just 9 months. Pixar was unhappy with the first version, so they decided to throw it away and start again from the very beginning. So, how does Pixar get its stories so right? To understand this, we can look at Pixar's 22 rules of storytelling. Each rule gives us insight into how their writers think and work, but 5 of these rules are especially important for understanding what makes Pixar films so special. The first rule is about understanding story structure. Almost all Pixar movies follow a similar format. We are first introduced to the characters, and we see them living their normal, everyday lives. This routine feels safe and familiar until something unexpected happens that completely disrupts it. The rest of the film follows the characters as they struggle against this change, until their experiences finally teach them an important lesson. Because of this, Pixar stories are always about change. In Toy Story, the change is the arrival of a new toy. In Inside Out, it's the move to a new city. In Up, it's the loss of a loved one. Each film tells the story of characters who are struggling to accept or adapt to the changes happening around them. But in Pixar's world, change is also an opportunity to grow and learn from, even if the characters don't realize it at first. This conflict is so clear to us as viewers because Pixar takes its time helping us truly understand who these characters are, which brings us to the next rule. Most of Pixar's magic lives in its characters. They always feel real and complex because the writers give each character a clear opinion.
You're telling me that the future can only be more of this?
This is the way things are. You can't change nature.
Change is nature, Dad.
These opinions don't always have to be pleasant or even likable. What matters is that they make sense. Giving characters real opinions is important because those opinions create real emotions. And it's these emotions that Pixar uses to bring its characters to life. Joy in Inside Out doesn't understand the value of negative emotions. Woody in Toy Story becomes jealous of the attention the new toy receives and just wants things to go back to the way they were. These thoughts and emotions are universal. Everyone can relate to them, whether they're kids or adults. They aren't good emotions, but they are honest ones. And that honesty is what allows us to connect with the characters. Even though Pixar does have some truly evil villains, its films are often strongest when they don't rely on one. Woody's honest but ugly emotions become the real villain of Toy Story. The main problem isn't Sid, it's Woody's jealousy. In Inside Out, Riley's emotional breakdown would never have happened if Joy had simply accepted that the other emotions were just as important as she was. When these characters resist change, Pixar throws obstacles in their way, often in the form of coincidences. Pixar isn't afraid to use coincidences, and it does so quite often. Sometimes these events are caused by the characters themselves, and sometimes they truly are random. But what matters is how Pixar uses them. Bad writing uses coincidences to save characters from difficult situations. Pixar does the opposite. It uses coincidences to put characters into trouble. These moments force the characters to face change head-on, but they never offer an easy escape. The characters must find their own way out. This raises the stakes and makes every problem feel more personal. Even when something feels like a last-minute miracle, it usually works as a payoff and creates a powerful character moment. Once the characters are in trouble, Pixar shifts its focus to who they are sharing that experience with. Villains are often used to help us understand a hero because they usually represent the hero's opposite. Pixar uses this idea too, but instead of traditional villains, these opposites are often supporting characters. Pixar films are heavily inspired by the buddy movie genre, a genre that has existed almost as long as cinema itself. It's a perfect source of inspiration for Pixar because its films are designed to teach lessons. Most of us learn through other people, especially those with opinions different from our own. The same idea applies in Pixar movies. Joy learns the importance of negative emotions through her journey with sadness. Carl, in Up, learns how to move on from the loss of his wife through his journey with a young boy who reminds him of his younger self, yet is completely different from the man Carl has become. By placing two opposing characters into a series of challenges, Pixar forces them to grow and learn from each other. This leads us to the final point, the lesson. I like to call it the Pixar moment. In every Pixar film, there's a moment where everything suddenly clicks. The characters, and the audience along with them, finally understand what the entire journey was about. This is where many bad stories fail. They constantly push themes and messages in obvious ways, demanding attention. Pixar does the opposite. Its storytelling is subtle. In many ways, Pixar tells stories the same way we learn lessons in real life. They aren't expected, they aren't easy. We fail again and again along the way. But in the end, it becomes clear why the journey was worth taking. Everything feels real and natural because we learn alongside the characters, not because they lecture us. This is what makes Pixar's storytelling so beautiful. There's no doubt that Pixar understands how to tell a great story. But more than that, its greatest strength may be knowing what its stories are truly about. They may look like stories about a lonely robot, a family of superheroes, toys, or emotions, but in the end, they are really stories about us. And that's just a small look at why Pixar's stories stay with us long after the credits roll. If even one of these storytelling secrets changed the way you see a Pixar movie, hit that like button right now. Subscribe for more deep dives into animation, film, and storytelling, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next video. Let us know in the comments which Pixar moment hit you the hardest, or which film means the most to you. And if you didn't like or subscribe, well, Pixar just taught us that every action has consequences. See you in the next one.